What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be talking about the one mode that could have a huge effect on NBA 2K22 My Team lads. And I'm gonna explain it in a little bit more detail because we've obviously this is not new news. And this is not completely new. We've all heard this over a month. The thing is though, is that like I wasn't the most hyped on this because I thought, okay, 2K are going to focus more on this new mode, and they're not going to fix Unlimited and Limited, which, in my opinion, were disastrous modes last year. I think Limited was alright if you were free to play the game every single weekend, and if you missed one weekend, it just became worthless, and you had unlimited free time. I think Limited's idea was great, bad execution. I think Unlimited was just a disaster. Worst reward system ever. So now we are going to be talking right here. We are going to be talking right here about the new game mode. And obviously, you guys can see right here. Things like cross-gen progression, experience the evolution of MyTeam. They're the exact same. They're from the thing a month ago. But making its long request to return, the MyTeam draft has you selecting a complete lineup from constantly updated pool of players. Compete with your new lineup in online multiplayer games to earn rewards for MyTeam collection. Okay. I'm looking at this and thinking, this goes one of two ways. The MyTeam draft mode could either be an absolute disaster and a throwaway, or it's going to be the best mode in the game. Because I'm telling you right now, if they don't change Unlimited, Unlimited's going to be awful. Again, no one's going to bother playing Unlimited. And then also, we have got Limited, which is limited to a weekend, and also has like RNG rewards, so people are just going to stop playing it. The problem is if you look back at the NBA... let's say NBA 2K18. 18 pack and playoffs reward. So, if you look at the NBA 2K18 pack and playoff rewards, this is literally what used to happen. Like, people completed pack and playoffs. People legitimately completed this game mode in a week. Like, whatever about the reward system, like you play the game, and then you get, like, these boards. And I'm pretty sure, like, you would have to work your way up through the boards. And then at the start, you wouldn't get... like, it was basically an ascension board. But, like, the... like, this one here, like, franchise player. You know what all that meant? Was that you could keep a player for the next time you drafted. Locks the player with the highest cost on your team for free. You can just lock in a player for your team. It was one of the worst implemented game modes. And I'm not even talking about the non-updated pool of players and the fact it was 5v5. They literally went, you would draft a team, and then for your following game, you would have to draft a completely new team. And you would have to win a certain amount of players to work your way up through the boards. And it was like an ascension. The rewards were based entirely on luck. You know what I wouldn't actually mind? Is if they put in the limited rewards. You know the way My Team Limited had rewards every single week, constantly updating, where you have like 3 things to flip, where you can get free packs, you can get MT. But if they make the rewards actually pretty good, like I wouldn't be opposed to that. I really wouldn't. Is it the best reward system in the world? Obviously not. Obviously, it's not the best reward system in the world. But I mean, it's not terrible. So I would not be too opposed to that. But look at this. Look at this concept here, and I have a feeling that they're going to bring this back in. I have a weird feeling they're going to bring exactly this back in. So look right here. Look what this is. If you want to keep a player, you have to pay 2K. This can't happen. First of all, if there's any... This is one thing that can be changed. If anyone from 2K is watching this cannot happen in 2K22. But the draft mode is going to be the make or break mode. Because unless you change Unlimited, which I don't think you are by the way you've worded things, Unlimited is a write-off. No one is going to care about Unlimited. If you need to win 68 games to get a card in 6 weeks, and that's 68 games if you don't lose, and then needing to go 12-0 at the end, like, you shouldn't need to win 56 games just to have the opportunity to go 12-0. Like, it should be a case of maybe going 9-3. You should be able to get the final reward. If you're working your way up, you should be able to get the final reward at 9-3. I don't care what anyone says. Like, you should be able to get the final reward at 9-3 if it's 68, if it takes 68 wins. There's no reason to make it 12-0 at the end. 12-0 is already hard enough. The average player will take something like 7,000 runs or attempts at going 12-0 before they get it, if you're a 50% win rate player. That was BS. That was awful. MyTeam Limited, let's be real, they're going to put the same concept as last year. It's going to be completely luck-based whether or not you get your ring. And as someone who in 2 weeks in a row played 20 consecutive games without seeing the ring, and then a load of people were replying, when I said it was a disaster, people were like, oh no, but I got my ring straight away. That's the point. Some people are getting their rings the first. I know someone who got 5 rings in a row on their first game. And then I know someone else who played 40 games one of the weeks and didn't see a ring. So you're like, you're looking at that and you're just like, okay then 2K, what the hell? There's something obviously wrong with this mode. And I think that if ring was like win 10 games in a weekend, then everyone's like, okay, grand. I have to set aside, win 10 games. That's what I need to get my ring. And you get 6 of them. It wouldn't be worth it for the player. Like 60 wins is not worth. Probably not worth the limited reward, but it's an actual target. And if you win, you can obviously flip for your prize. But the draft has so much potential. Like, I think the draft should go the way route of FIFA. And a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, why do I keep saying the route of FIFA? Because FIFA do a lot of things wrong, but they do a lot of things right. Like, I gotta say, FIFA do a lot of things right. Like, FIFA with div rivals, with that system instead of an unlimited system, in 2021 is the best way to run things. It really is. Skill-based matchmaking is perfectly fine as long as you get rewarded for it. Like, if you are a top-tier player and you're playing constantly as other top-tier players, but you get better rewards for being better at the game, that skill-based matchmaking is not a problem. It's only a problem when you have to tank your record to go 12-0, because if you have a terrible record going into the opal tier, you play easy opponents. Like, if there's no when tactically losing helps, that's when skill-based matchmaking is gone. But skill-based matchmaking works, and it kind of works in FIFA, to be honest, because it's rare that I play against someone I lose to 8-0, and I'm a pretty not great player. And then you've got obviously things like Weekend League, which 2K aren't going to bring in. They say there's a new fast-paced mode in December. I would be 90% sure that fast-paced mode is like challenges, are like quick challenges. Because again, they specified fast-paced, which means it's not going to be Weekend League. 250k is going to be the same crap that it's been the last 3 years. Don't worry about it. Don't think 2K are changing that. 250k is going to be the same crap as it's been the last 3 years. Unlimited's almost certainly going to be the same crap as last year. But again, we'll find out next Thursday. We'll find out on the 2nd of September anyway. So we'll see that. But this is the mode that 2K has to get right. Because we know that it's highly unlikely that they get limited or unlimited right. We know that they're not bringing in a weekend league. We know that they're not bringing in a rival system. We know they're not even freaking bringing in quick matches. So there's only one mode left that 2K has a chance of making right, and it's the draft mode. What 2K has got to do is they have got to update the players as soon as they're out in packs. As soon as the cards are out in packs. Like, I'm cool with 2K making you redraft your team after every single game, as long as it's not a case of paying them to hold on to your players. If 2K makes you... If the draft is literally a case of... like, I wouldn't even mind it too much if this prize pool... If this is a prize board... If they have, like, prize boards... But instead of you having to work your way up, you would have some cards in the deck. Not even cards in the deck. That you could have, like... I don't know, like tokens that come out quite a lot. And then, or draft tokens, and you exchange a certain amount of draft tokens for a reward. That would be, I think that would be cool. Like, that would be cool. Not for the sake of being like, oh, the card is just here, and it just being completely like, oh, completely luck-based, whether or not you get it after every game. But if there are a bunch of tokens, then, for example, if you win a game, there might be a 50% chance of getting a draft token. So you'll have like a much, much better chance. Yeah, there's a little bit of luck involved, but a 1 in 2 luck isn't the worst deal in the world. I wouldn't mind a board like this because they've specified that you're playing you're earning rewards, which means there's going to be a lot of reward cards in the draft. I think it's going to be done exactly like this, which was not a good concept. Honestly, it was not. I have a scary feeling they're going to make it the exact same as this game mode here, except you're going to need a full 10-man rotation. And also, I think they're going to delay players. I reckon by constantly updating players, they're going to update players once a season in the draft. And you're only going to be able to use players in the previous season. That is my fear. And if 2K do that, this is the most worthless mode in the history of MyTeam. But it has the potential to be a great mode. The problem is that I don't trust 2K to make a mode right. Because 2K have not, like outside of Triple Threat, 2K have not done a good job of game modes. First of all, Supermax was a disaster in 18. I think 12-0 was 12-0 is a dumb idea, but 12-0 is a lot better than winning 56 games and then going 12-0. Limited, great idea and concept, everything based on luck. And the fact is, if you missed one weekend, there was no way to play catch up. That game mode was a disaster. I have no trust in 2K's ability to implement game modes successfully because they have not shown us that they can do it in MyTeam. They really can't. Like, Road to the Playoffs is the best game mode we've seen so far, and that was from 2K13. That was from 2K13. The best mode, the only mode that actually kind of worked and wasn't seen as 5 years behind the time or just bad was Road to the Playoffs. Like, 2K have a blueprint there in FIFA. Do not screw this up. Do not screw this up. Like, FIFA, again, don't update players nearly enough in the draft. Like, the one way that you can set up this mode, even charge people to play. Do what FIFA do. Something like, let's say 7,500 MT. You get a guaranteed 7.5k pack for entering. 7.5k MT or 7,500 VC for a draft to play the draft. That, like, I'm cool with that. I'm 100% cool with that. If you make us pay to play the draft. But if you do pull off some BS like this, making it free, making it pay to win, and then if you end up, because you want people to buy packs, not putting the new cards into the draft, then it's going to be a disaster. And I'm pessimistic about 2K, but only because 2K have given me no reason to ever be optimistic about it. But at the same time, this is the one mode that still has a chance to be good because we've written off all the other modes. Whatever the new fast-paced mode is might be alright. Like, I've written off the other 5v5 modes. So, like, if the draft is bad, I'm a triple threat player for the rest of the year. I'm a triple threat player all next year. I don't care. 5v5 is not fun. There's no reason to play it. Like, I can make 20,000 MT an hour playing a game mode that's more fun. Or I can play 5v5, play MyTeam Unlimited, MyTeam Limited, and lose MT and get nothing back from rewards. Like, why would I do that? The draft is the only, while I think it's going to be a disaster, it's the only one left that has a chance of saving 5v5 and 2K, because let's be real, no one cares about it anymore. So, and that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.